All right, so 2022's Prey is a Hulu original film and a sequel slash prequel slash possibly soft reboot of the Predator franchise. And it's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. The screenplay is by Patrick Azen. Hopefully that's how you say that. But yeah, like I said, basically a prequel to the Predator franchise that takes place almost 300 years in the past, in 1719, and follows a Comanche girl and the tribe that she is a part of in the northern Great Plains. So, yeah, basically the Predator gets dropped off on Earth, and you know how the Predator is. Predator goes after shit, so he's going after shit in this movie, killing different Comanche tribe members, the ones that pose a threat at least. I mean, if you know what Predator is, you kind of know what's up already. He goes after people who are a threat, essentially. Not just people either, especially in this movie. He goes after animals too. Animals play a really big part in this movie, especially when it involves just, not even the predator going after the animals, but there's shots in here of animals going after other animals, kind of showing that aspect of, the predator and the prey, not just with the predator itself, but you know, it's all around us. It's natural for there to be a predator and a prey. And yeah, I just thought all that was really interesting and was done really well. I don't even think I mentioned the cast yet, but we have Amber Midthunder as Naru, the main character of this film. She's basically a Comanche girl in this tribe who wants to be a hunter, but nobody else really sees it in her. And the skill that she had, or maybe not the skill, but I wrote it down here, the exact words. The advantage that she has in this film is that she hasn't quite killed yet. She hasn't really become that apex predator, which makes her less of a target for the predator itself. And so she really uses that to her advantage, and I just love seeing that kind of stuff. Whereas in the 1987 film, which I will have a review for next week, going to be watching all the Predator films, then all the Alien films, and then doing a huge tier list. By the way, I think I forgot to mention that. But, in the original film, you have these just absolute badasses who shoot first and think second. And wow, that's all really cool, especially for the 80s. I mean, you don't really, I don't know, you don't really care for the characters as much in that movie, while you still love them because they are who they are, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger for frick's sake. Try not to swear in this video, but yeah, I mean, you have those cast members and you care about them because it's the person. But a lot of these actors in here are brand new actors, especially Tabe, played by Dakota Beavers. One of my favorite parts of this film, his character and Naru, best characters in this film. The entire time I was just so on edge and worried about them, and they're a brother and sister duo. And a lot of times you see brothers and sisters going at each other's throats, but they actually have have each other's backs in this movie. And that's just something I really loved about both of them. A lot of people doubted Naru, but, even Tabe kind of doubted her at some points. But at the end of the day, he's like, I know you can do this, so I'm gonna support you 100%. But yeah, let me see here who else we have in the cast. We have Harlan Blaine Kitewahat, probably saying that wrong, as Itzy. We also have Mike Patterson as Big Beard. Not really a super important character there. I'm looking for a certain one that maybe I didn't write down. Stormy Kip. Yeah, I didn't get his name. Shoots. That sucks, because he was a good character too. Oh, maybe I wrote it down somewhere. Maybe I didn't, though. I don't think I wrote it down in these notes. I have it over there. So, yeah, Stormy Kip's character, he was a pretty cool character in here. Kind of did some things I didn't like, but At the same time, I like the actor. I saw the interview with Greg Alba from the Real Rejects that he did with him on the red carpet, and I got to learn some like kind of behind the scenes stuff. So I don't know. He seems like a cool guy, so I liked seeing him in the movie. He has a lot of kind of charisma and energy, so I like him a lot. But yeah, definitely go check out that Real Rejects interview. Greg Alba from the can't talk Real Rejects. He did an interview over Zoom with the producer, the director, and the actors who played Naru and Tabe, and that was a great interview. Loved it. And then what was even cooler is that he got invited to be part of the press junket for the premiere of this movie. So he actually got to see some of those people face to face and got to talk to Stormy Kipp's character as well, which he didn't. I don't believe he talked to him on Zoom, but I could be wrong. But yeah, really great movie here. Let me get into some other reasons why I love this. And there's only one reason why I don't like this movie. And it's just a few minor plot holes, which I can't get into because of spoilers. But maybe you'll catch it when you're watching the movie. Maybe you won't. But there's just certain things where I'm just like, how would they know how to do that? Like, if they do this, how do they know this isn't going to happen? So that maybe you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the movie, or if you've watched the movie, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't, but just some small things there. Like, I have very few complaints. Honestly, that was my only real complaint about this movie. Aside from, I didn't get more than I already got. But yeah, let me see here. Predator shows up, he murks some people. Pretty awesome. Some of the visual effects on the Predator, and especially the ship that it arrives in, does not look great, and you can kind of tell why it went on streaming. But at the same time, this is a movie I think I would have liked to really see in the theater, especially on the big screen, maybe IMAX. If the visual effects were a little bit more, maybe not complete, but just if they were a little bit better, I think this could have been perfect for the big screen. I would have been like, oh my God, it's such a disservice to this movie that it's not in theaters. And I still think it is, but just for a few like visual effects, kind of, a few visual effects that I'm like, that doesn't look too great. I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see why it's on streaming. But other than that, would have loved to see it in the movies. But let me see here. I think I already mentioned this, but Naru's advantage is that she hasn't become an apex predator yet. And so that doesn't make her a target to the predator. And she really uses that to her advantage. Because I said Naru's advantage. But yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, at times she wants to fight, but she knows not to, and to hold back. And yeah, I really love those moments there. Let me see here. You really care about the characters. I mean, for the two main characters, Tabe and Naru, those are the ones I care about most. Everybody else, I'm just like, I don't really know you. But let me see here. I love certain callbacks to the original without making it feel like a copy. Yeah, honestly, like, there are certain callbacks in here, but they have their own spin on it that I think they did very well. There is one line from the original film that I noticed, which honestly I didn't really think was too on the nose. But some people I heard reviews from were kind of complaining about it. No complaints from me, honestly. I already mentioned the whole Real Rejects thing. I made a note to tell you guys about that. The practical effects used on the Predator itself, which is actually played by Dane DeLigro. The suit itself and just the design I thought looked really good. A lot of times in this movie, you're seeing the Predator camouflaged. And also in this movie, you don't get as much perspective from the Predator as much as you do in the original Predator film. You still, I think, get a few moments in there, but for the most part, it's really Naru's perspective that you're most concerned about, and I love that. Love that for sure. Let me see here. Kind of want to keep talking about the practical effects, but yeah, just actually seeing the Predator itself without any camouflage on. Because with the camouflage in the movie, you can still kind of see it. At times you can't, but other times you can kind of see the outline. And when you actually see it without any camouflage, you can tell that it's a real person, like walking around, running, and, doing the different motions. But I love that kind of shit, man. More movies need to do practical effects, and this movie, I think, did a really good job of that. They stuck to the original concept of having an actual stand-in for the Predator. So I think that's really important, especially to sell it with the actors. Actually seeing something it's easier to have a reaction to it. But also, I'm really proud of myself for just saying all that. That was a really smart thing for me to say. At times, I'm a little insecure about certain things I say and don't say. And I'm just like, did I not say enough? Did I not explain enough? And right there, I was just like, good job, dude. Pat myself on the back. Yeah, the writers slash producer. The producer, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to sound stupid, but I believe she is part of the Comanche tribe, or has some sort of connection to it. And so it's perfect that she has that connection and can actually make this, maybe accurate isn't quite the word. I mean, it's obviously accurate to how they are, but man, what did I write down here? The writer slash producer understood the source material and the culture for sure. They the real word for it is respecting the culture, because you get a lot of these types of movies where you have Indian characters and you have Mexican characters and you have all these different types of different nationalities, and oftentimes they're played off as stereotypes. And in this movie, you, in a way, slightly, ever so slightly, kind of get some of those stereotypes, but not from the Comanches themselves, from these other separate characters that I don't really want to talk about because spoilers. But yeah, understanding the source material of the Predator while also understanding the culture and kind of just combining the two. I think they did it very beautifully. And last thing I will say about this movie, because I've already been going for a little bit, I could talk about this movie all day, but I have a few last remarks. Yeah, I said everything ties together very beautifully. Just the way it starts. At first, it seemed a little slow, and I was just like, all right, things are kind of happening. But by the end of the movie, you see how certain things tie together. A lot like Bullet Train, the last review I did. Like, there's just a lot of crazy stuff happening, but by the end of it, it all ties itself together. And I think this movie, while it's a little slower and a lot less crazy, there are still a lot of things that happen that seem a little random at first, but by the end of the movie, it becomes part of the plot. So, yeah, I said everything ties together so beautifully. And speaking of beautiful, the sound design, the stunt choreography, the performances, the cinematography, writing, and editing, and etc. Like, all of it is just top notch for me. And I would be lying to you if I said this isn't one of my favorite movies that I've watched this year, which is crazy because this year, like, it's gone by so quickly, and I've seen so many movies, and not that many have really blown me away. But in the past month, literally, or the past few weeks, there are now two: Vengeance with BJ Novak, and now this movie. Two movies very close together in release that blew me away, and that doesn't really happen too often. So thank you to Prey and all the creators and everybody who worked on it for just making a great movie that I'm going to be picking apart so much and watching breakdowns for and rewatching and just enjoying and thinking about. Like, thank you guys for making such a great movie. I had a lot of high expectations going in after hearing what Greg Alba from The Real Rejects had to say. And so I was like, there's a chance that this movie might disappoint me. And it absolutely did not at all. Like I said, small, ever so slight criticisms, slightly with the visual effects on certain things, and then, slightly with some certain plot holes. or maybe not plot holes, but certain things that just don't quite make sense. But only two small, very small, minuscule complaints in a sea of just compliments and just ass kissery. I know I said I wasn't trying to swear in this video, but I had to say it. This movie is fucking awesome, okay? Please do yourself a favor, go watch this movie. Even if you have not seen the original Predator film, I don't think that even matters, dude. At the very least, just watch the original. You don't need to watch all the other movies. I mean, I haven't seen them, so I don't know that for sure, but from what I hear from people who have actually watched these movies, it really doesn't matter which order you go in for the most part. As long as you're going in order of like 1 and 2 and then whatever else, man. World's your oyster. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about 2022's Prey, which is available now on Hulu. Please go watch it. It is fantastic. In fact, on Hulu, you can even find the other Predator movies on there. So yeah, don't even tell me, oh, I can't watch it because I can't watch the other ones. By the way, I bumped the table, sorry. But yeah, no excuse. If you have Hulu, at least go watch the original. Go watch this. You can kind of see how certain things tie together. Or maybe not tie together, but certain things that you can compare and contrast with. So, great film. I'm actually going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Do I want to? Okay, I'm going to stick with a 9 out of 10. I was debating on going to a 9.5. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this for a second. I'm not just going to sit in silence, but man, I mean, this is one of those movies where I really want to rewatch it, and that helps a score out a lot. I love the characters. There's even some moments of comedy in here that I thought were hilarious that I wish I could talk about, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. You know what? I think I'm going to stick at a 9 out of 10. I think that's still a really great score. I wish I could give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm reserving that for something. I don't even know what, but that's not something I give. I don't give a 10 out of 10 to very many things. I don't give 9 out of 10 to very many things. So that's some high praise coming from me for sure. But yeah, I highly recommend you check it out. It's on Hulu, so go do that. That is all I have to say about the movie. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video where I should be reviewing Predator 1987. So I'll catch you in that one. I am on Facebook and Instagram at Pop Culture Podcast. You can follow me either place. The link in the bio of my Instagram page will take you to a page full of links where you can find links to my website, TeePublic, all that kind of stuff. So go check it out. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And also comment if you have seen the movie. Comment down below. Tell me what you thought without spoiling anything. And if you haven't seen it, did my review make you want to watch it? Or are you going to watch it anyways? Or are you still not going to watch it? I would love to know and just hear from you guys. So, yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.